Welcome to Three Girls, One Track, your go-to podcast for listening to two sisters and their cousin try and get into Formula One. We're here to break down the ins and outs of what happens on the track and especially what happens off of it. Listen in weekly to get your fill of F1 gossip, race outcomes, and which Lewis Hamilton Fashion Week outfit we thought was the hottest.
Woo! But I'm late. That's very unfortunate.
Where's my phone? Okay.
I was here at 7:05, so.
Yes, you were late, but here at the time you said you were going to be here. So
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I indeed, at happy hour, told my coworkers about our podcast.
Of course you did.
I did not give them the name of the podcast because I forgot. But my
What's the name?
manager,
We forgot to tell them.
well, because what happened was that one of my managers was like, "Oh, how's the podcast going?" And my senior managers were like, "You have a podcast?" And I was like, "Yeah." And my senior managers also like F1.
Okay.
And so they were all like, "What?" And so they asked me a lot about what I think is going to happen to Carlos, which is an amazing segue into today's topic. We don't have a race. I know we're posting this podcast really late, but we don't have a race to review. Instead, we have the driver market, silly season, all that kind of stuff to talk about. Philly, I'm actually going to get ahead of you before you ask, what's the driver's market? What's silly season? I have that for you. So
Thank you.
When we reference what is the driver's market, what's silly season, we're basically saying, like, there are only 20 seats in F1 as of right now. Only 20 bodies can fill those seats. Who's going to fill those seats, right? Especially a year like today, like this year, there's not that many filled seats. There's actually a lot of open seats that people could fall into.
Didn't you say it was like half the grid or something?
Yeah, a lot of the grid is out of contract this upcoming year. So generally, we would have silly season halfway through the year. So think like August, September-y time, which is when a lot of contracts start like officially like being ready to be signed. And you'd have like all these different things going on where drivers would be able to sort of like talk about it. You get a whole bunch of announcements. But with all of these open seats, with the Lewis to Ferrari thing, we're getting a lot more seat conversation because people that we probably thought were going to stick with the team, we don't know where they're going anymore.
Oh, dear God.
So we're going to talk about that today, and I'm actually going to have us fill out a little like driver card with all of our predictions on it. Some of our predictions will be more informed than others, and that's okay. But we're all going to make predictions. We are
This
all
is
going
what kind
to
of
make
episode it's going to
predictions.
be? I'm just going
This
to
is
catch
what kind of episode
strays.
it's going to be.
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay. All right, so this is what I have here for you. Every single team, I've already filled in the drivers we 100% know are staying. And then on the side, I have all of the drivers who are currently on the grid, as well as a couple of the reserve drivers. So, you know, Liam Lawson, Mick Schumacher, and then a couple of our F2 hopefuls that have been like, their names have been floated around. So think Kimi Antonelli, Jack Doohan. I cannot remember his name to save my life, but he's one of the Red Bull Junior drivers. He's the other Japanese driver. He's an
that well versed on the F2 drivers.
That's okay. You don't need to necessarily be. I mostly put them there because some of them are in my predictions. But yeah, there's a couple people. Ollie Bierman, I have him in here. I have another one of the Red Bull Juniors in here. So, you know, we're going to go team by team. We're going to talk about what we think is going to happen. But to cover off who we already have locked in, obviously Max is staying at Red Bull. I believe his contract is out until 2028.
Jesus.
I want to say something crazy.
Hey, actually, hold on, I can pull it up.
It's either 2026 or 2028, but I think it's 2028.
For Mac?
For Max.
Mac is 2028.
Perfect. Yeah. For Ferrari, we obviously have the most beautiful duo on the grid, Charles and Lewis. McLaren has Lando and Oscar locked in. Mercedes has George locked in. Aston Martin has Fernando locked in. Yes, we know that Aston Martin probably has Lance locked in, but
I was going to say that's nice of you to actually think that it's not locked in, but okay.
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I agree that he's locked
Sure.
in, but I wanted to be official about it.
Okay.
And then Williams has Alex locked in. So we have 4 teams with nobody locked in.
Wow.
And then we have all but 2 teams with a spot ready to be filled. So we're going to talk about who we think is going to end up in each seat. And I think it'll be a cute, fun little episode.
Quick question.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with the drivers.
Okay.
Why
Of course.
was there a rhyme or a reason to how you ranked the teams?
Yes. This is the order the teams are in for the championship.
Okay.
That's the order.
I was just going to be a little bit of a
No worries. Yes, this
Okay.
is the order the teams are in. Mercedes is in their flop era, and hey, I love to see it. So
God.
Sure.
anyway, first up, we can cover Red Bull Racing. Who do we each think is going to be alongside Max? Now we can approach this however we like.
I was just
We
gonna-
could think of it as who we want to be
Yeah.
driving next to Max.
Yeah.
We could also think of it as who we actually think is going to be driving next to Max. It's up to each of us for who we want to put on our board, but we can discuss both options for each team.
Okay.
Because I know, I want Yuki to be driving alongside Max. I want them to give Yuki the Red Bull
I
seat.
think
And I don't think they're going to.
I was about to say, I said, what?
I don't think they're going to.
Yuki. I don't know if Yuki deserves it yet. I think it would be great. I think it would be. You think he deserves the Red Bull seat?
Who else deserves it? Who else deserves it?
Checo.
Okay, yes, Checo's the other person that deserves it, and Checo's my realistic pick. I think Checo's keeping his seat, but I think if not Checo, for me it's
I'm
Yuki.
looking at it. I actually.
And we do also have to enter contention because I do keep up with the news that Helmut Marko confirmed that either currently or in the past there have been talks with Carlos Sainz's camp about him getting the Red Bull seat. I don't think that's happening, but there have been talks. So I have to enter him into contention as well.
Are these rumbles
why you
of-
don't think it would happen?
I don't think it would happen because the Sainz and Verstappen camps already raced together back at Toro Rosso, and apparently the vibes were not good. I'm not saying that they literally would not take Sainz because of that.
Mhm.
Max has said he'll drive alongside anybody,
Yeah.
but we all know that Red Bull Racing is Verstappen Racing at this point.
Yeah.
Feel how you want to feel about it, but that's kind of the vibe. I just don't think they would willingly choose a shitster like Carlos Sainz in his camp when they could have a Checo who, Checo wants to win. He wants to be champion, but he's not going to cause an actual fuss about it,
Yeah. Okay.
And Carlos Sainz's camp is notoriously very fussy, as are the Verstappens. And I just don't think you can have 2 of those kind of camps in the same team.
Okay. Interesting. Felicia, were you trying to say something?
I forgot. Continue.
Okay. So I'm going to say for me, I think it's going to be, I'm going to fill out mine. I think for at least most of them, I'm going to fill them out as what I think is actually going to happen. And what I think is actually going to happen is Checo is going to be racing alongside.
Nice. All right. I'm gonna. Sorry, I got a lot going on to try and. You think Checo's gonna be racing alongside Max? Okay. A little Checo for your troubles.
You're going to put Yuki?
I want to put Yuki.
Put
I don't.
Yuki then.
I don't think Yuki's actually gonna end up racing alongside Max, but I'm letting you know right now. I will do a shoey on camera on this podcast if
Please
Yuki
don't
actually gets
say
this seat.
that because
I will do that if he gets this seat. I said I would do that if Carlos ended up at Mercedes. I will do 2 of them if either of those things come true.
if you'll do another one, you'll do a shoey if Carlos ends up at
If
Mercedes.
Carlos actually ends up at Mercedes, I would do a shoey. I don't think it's happening. I already know where I'm putting Carlos. On this
Okay,
grid.
I don't, but okay.
All right, Philly. Who do you think's racing alongside Max, or who do you want to?
Well, who do you want? Yeah, maybe want is better.
Yeah.
Just choose a random person in the seat.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Let me see. Hold on, because I can't see. I have to put it on my bigger screen.
Okay.
Hold on.
Well, you could also just
I can
say
see
a name
now.
that you
Hold
know.
on. So who is?
Oh gosh.
I'll do
Shut
one
up.
just for you.
Because where's Ollie Bierman? Who's he?
Ollie's right here.
And who is he with right now?
Ferrari. He's a Ferrari Junior Academy driver. So the likelihood that Red Bull poaches him is extremely low, but I can put Ollie there if that's who you want.
Because I would want Ollie in a good car, because that's what he deserves.
He does deserve that.
Would
you like me to put Ollie?
There.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I know it's not realistic.
I have a question because I'm also, this is, again, I'm going to admit, I don't really know how their contracts, which is horrible. As a lawyer, I should know how their contracts, or at least have a better understanding. But for drivers like an F2 who are like
part of the family.
Yeah, how did that work? Because I know, like, wasn't that an issue for what's his name, Oscar?
Yeah. So you are not literally tied to that family.
Okay.
Like you can't leave, right?
Yeah.
Like Nick DeVries was a Mercedes child, and he went to RB, right? Mm-hmm. So it's not that you can't leave. Alex Albon, I think, up until last year, was still sponsored by Red Bull, even now being in the Williams, technically Mercedes family, right? Mm-hmm. So it's not a stopper. It's more so a you'd be, depending on how you go about it, you're probably burning a bridge, right? Oscar burned the Alpine bridge hard, which ended up not mattering because, they don't know how to build a car.
Yeah.
But, he burned that bridge hard. Nick DeVries didn't really burn the bridge because Toto was like, yeah, we didn't have a seat to give him. So, it's not like he was screwing us over. He wanted a drive and he got one, right?
Yeah.
And so it just kind of depends. It doesn't stop you, but it definitely, the trajectory is probably a lot easier for you to remain within your family because you're already in the pipeline and you have an easier time getting to the end of that pipeline than having another team take a chance on you.
Okay.
It's more likely the team that trained you is willing to take the chance on you.
Yeah.
And has the data to take the chance on you,
Mm-hmm. Got it. Got it.
All right. Our next open seat is at Mercedes alongside George Russell. Philly, Bex, any thoughts here on who you think's going to end up next to George?
This is, I don't know. I feel like this might be a little bit of a wild card seat.
You're right.
I don't know. I feel like,
so I was looking and I had read something about, I want to make sure it's the right person I'm thinking about. I think it was Sainz.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you think Sainz will end up?
I'm just going based off of something that I saw online. This is not like me actually thinking anything, but I saw something that said Sainz to Mercedes.
Okay. That's a feeling.
How legit it is, I have no idea. Don't look at me.
Yeah, that's a feeling.
So I think a lot of people think Carlos is going to Mercedes. I don't, because I think he's a good enough driver that he's been able to have his, he's been a good enough driver for Ferrari. So a lot of people are looking at, I think a lot of people are saying well, Mercedes is the next best option for next best team, I guess, for him to race. But I don't know if that works.
Why? Why would you say that?
I don't actually have a logical reasoning. Just my gut, I guess.
Just saying no.
So, but then I'm like, okay, if Sainz not in this seat, who?
That's the thing.
I don't know. Sure, let me know what you think. That'll help me out.
That Kimi Antonelli will get the Mercedes seat.
Which one's Kimi Antonelli again?
Kimi Antonelli. So remember how back when Lewis was like, I'm going to Ferrari, Toto basically was like, yeah, we didn't want to offer him a 2-year because we wanted to leave the option open for Kimi Antonelli. Kimi Antonelli just got into F2 this year. but they're saying that he's the next Max Verstappen. I take issue with the notion that there is a next Max Verstappen. I'm not going to get into why I don't think that's like a thing. I think that's as comical as saying there's like a next Lewis Hamilton. I think that's actually a joke. But because they're touting him as the next Max Verstappen, and Toto already lost out on Max way back when, he was kind of trying to leave the option open for Kimi to get in. Mm-hmm. And I don't think that they're doing all of that, hoops and jumping, and then not offering him the seat. Mm-hmm. Mostly because I think it would just be kind of stupid not to get supposedly the next Max Verstappen into your car while you know it's bad. And then come the next regulation, maybe your car's better. And then there he is, winning championships.
But does he, like... So I actually did... I don't think I actually read the article. I think I just saw a headline that was talking about this. Mm-hmm. But if he's new to F2, will he even be ready to race in F1 next year?
Ready is subjective. I believe that he will be eligible.
Okay, there you go.
He's currently P9, if I remember correctly, in the F2 championship.
Okay.
So not, like, great, you know? Mm-hmm. You almost want a, like, Charles George when you're, like, win F2 in your rookie year type, you know? But, hey, they're saying he's the next Max Verstappen, so we'll have to see. We'll have to see.
I am going to follow your lead.
Okay.
Because I just know Carlos is not sitting right with me that he'll be.
Okay. All right. So the big four, I say the big four. I hate that McLaren is in the quote unquote big four. Anyway, but the big four locked in. We've got Max and Yuki at Red Bull for me. We already know who's at Ferrari, McLaren, and then we've got George and Kimi at Mercedes for me. Philly, you replace Yuki with Ollie at Red Bull, and Kimi with Sainz.
I didn't put Yuki anywhere yet.
I said you replaced Yuki with Ollie.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah.
And then Bex, you have Checo keeping his seat, and then you also have Kimi joining at Merc.
Correct,
all right.
Correct.
We can get into probably our easiest selection of the night.
Yes,
Aston Martin. I left Lance in the maybe category as like a courtesy. I do think that he's not going to fire his son, though. So I think Lance will be remaining at Aston Martin.
It's literally just because his contract is technically up, right?
Well, we actually don't know how long Lance's contract is.
What?
At no point have we known how long Lance's contract is.
What the hell? How do we know everyone else's contract and not his?
Because of their the team, so it's never really a question.
So it's never been like a thing. It's just like he has a contract. He's renewed the contract.
Well, but don't they have to disclose that?
No.
Really?
Like, for example, Alonso renewed a multi-year contract. And then eventually they go, hey, his contract's up in da-da-da-da. They don't have to tell us that.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I find F1 very fast because they don't really have to tell anyone anything, like the public anything, versus like in other sports, like it's almost mandated that, you know, they have to at least, because you always hear like, oh, so-and-so got a 5-year contract for this much. Oh, so-and-so, like football, NBA. F1 just kind of plays by their own rules, which frustrating, but whatever. Aston Martin, I'm going to say is going to be Magnussen. Kidding.
Jesus Christ.
I was joking.
Billy, how do you feel?
Stroll.
Now we start to get interesting.
I have not a clue.
We think is going to be the reps? And I agree. I think this is the funniest one to fill in.
Because right now it's humor. Yuki and Daniel, right?
Yes, right now it's Yuki and Daniel. I truly have no clue. But what I am going to say is I know who I'm putting in seat number 1 because I think that they are going to be in that seat come like June. So I'm putting Liam Lawson in as a Red Bull boyo. I'm going to have to crop him. Sorry, Liam, but you're a bit too big for my graphic. So you're getting cropped significantly.
That's Ollie?
No, this is Liam.
That's Liam.
This is Liam Lawson, the guy who's about to take Daniel's job.
Wait, I'm getting all these names confused. Liam, where did
Lawson.
Yeah, I know.
The New Zealand guy who drove last year when Danny broke his arm.
There, okay. Oh, clicking. Got it. Remember.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the one that they threatened Daniel. Okay, never mind.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Okay. I was like, I heard the name before. Why is it not clicking? Got it. How about... Oh, okay. Never mind. My number one is going to be Yuki.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering why you didn't have Yuki. I'm like, you think Yuki's going to lose his seat, but then I remember you put him with Red Bull.
Because I'm praying that Yuki gets the Red Bull seat. I know he won't, but I'm praying.
I think that's sweet.
You never know.
You never know. Now, I know this is semi-contradictory to what I was going to say earlier.
Okay.
Daniel has said in the press that he'd be perfectly fine driving with RB another year.
Of course,
I think that's a loser mentality. So I'm not even entertaining him on this grid. I'm actually going to say, I'm going to look up his name. I promise you I'll get his name. He's the other Japanese driver. He was at the Japanese Grand Prix with Red Bull. I will find Ayuma Iwasa. I think he's going to be the other Red Bull seat. He's in the Red Bull pipeline. He's very cool. He's very fun. He is also sponsored by Honda, so I think he sort of fills that slot that Yuki did for that like lingering Honda affiliation, even though Honda will be, with Aston Martin. But I think it sort of fills that lingering Honda association.
Okay.
So I think that's me. And I also think that RB is a junior team. I think if you continue to have the middle-aged used as a playground, you start to lose your like junior team essence. And they said it's a junior team,
I'm going to put Liam Lawson.
Okay.
Because Daniel's done in my books.
Okay.
Jesus.
I think what you're doing is also a very likely thing to happen.
Okay.
Once again, I put Yuki in that hopeful spot, so I can't put him in RB.
Yeah.
Any thoughts, Philly?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be Yuki and Liam.
Okay.
But
copying.
Because I don't think Daniel's getting renewed. I really don't.
Okay. Alrighty. That's Red RB locked in for us. All right. Up next is Haas.
Who's at Haas right now?
Haas is Magnussen and
Hulkenberg.
Hulkenberg. I think Hulkenberg's keeping his seat. So I will say that right now. I think that they keep at least one.
I think they might keep both of them.
I can do that for you.
Feel as though they are two where you can see where it literally they could keep them both and they could lose them.
They can dump them both. Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I don't know. I think for me, what did I say? I said
let the record show. I think Ollie is having the other Haas seat. I think this is his entry into F1.
You think you're going to put Ollie in the Haas?
I am. There is a Ferrari Academy affiliation between Haas and Ferrari due to engine manufacturer reasons. So I think that if Ollie gets a seat next year, it's at Haas.
Okay.
And I'm hoping he does.
Yeah.
Get the middle-aged out of here.
Maybe he'll do something,
Yeah. Make some little move and shit.
Get him a couple points or something.
Exactly. It'll be fun.
I would say this is one team like I actually have no idea.
Yeah.
And then I think someone's going to take Ollie.
Okay. You haven't said who yet.
I definitely think someone's going to take Ollie.
I just don't. I think he's going to be on the grid next year. I just don't. Obviously, I filled in for 6, so it's either Haas, Williams, whatever that team's name is, and Alpine. And I don't really think he fit in with the rest of the 3.
Any of them?
And
wait, so you think Haas is the only?
If I were him, I wouldn't go to any of these last 3.
Yeah.
Well, would you put him at Haas?
I don't. If I were him, I wouldn't want to go to Haas.
As he said, this car is so freaking slow.
I
Wait,
wouldn't want
Ollie
to.
said that?
Yeah, Ollie was stuck behind the Haas at Bahrain. Not Bahrain.
Australia.
Jeddah, Saudi.
Oh, he
Whichever
did.
one
He
he
did.
filled
He
in
did.
for.
He did.
And
Yes.
he was like, this car is so freaking slow.
Yeah, like I don't think I wouldn't go to Haas if I were him.
How long do they have left with the current regulations?
Until 2026.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, let's be real. Haas is going to be slow because they're poor.
How much wiggle room do they have within the regulations, like to change up their car year to year?
They have decent wiggle room. You just have to not break the rules of the regulations. Like, Mercedes originally had no side pods when these regulations started. It's a whole different car now.
No, what?
They could find something that makes them fast next year.
You said Mercedes has no what?
Oh, when Mercedes started these regulations, like, the sides of the car that are kind of bulgy?
Oh, yeah.
Mercedes made a version that was just, like, concave.
Oh.
Yeah. And that's why they were so slow. So, yeah. You can change a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Bex. Who do you see at Haas?
I'm still over here questioning. I don't know. I also realized Carlos Sainz is not in a seat yet.
I know where I'm putting this.
And I'm just like, geez. Okay. I'm going to go Magnussen.
Okay. Okay, so you think Magnussen over Hülkenberg, or are you keeping Hülkenberg?
Hülkenberg.
I want to go Ollie.
Okay. He just
I think at this point he needs to get on the grid. Because I'm trying to think. Okay, like if he tries to wait it out for a Ferrari seat to open up, like freaking Charles, he'd
be waiting at least
29. So
he'd be waiting at least 2 years because Lewis has a 2-year contract
to 2026. Yeah. So
question: do y'all think there's a chance of Ollie going to Red Bull Racing?
No.
No, why?
I mean, we discussed this when you put him there. I think that he's a Ferrari Academy Valorbo.
I'm sorry. Racing Bulls.
Oh,
RB.
Maybe. I just don't know why he would. Like, I don't know why he would.
I'm just saying, like, he's got to get his foot in somewhere.
Red Bull as a driver development location is also just very volatile. You can find yourself Nick DeVries in a hot, quick 8 races, and then you don't have an F1 seat.
When you say Nick DeVries, what do you mean by that?
So Nick DeVries was the Red Bull Racing Junior Team RB at the time, AlphaTauri driver last year, who started the season, had an atrocious first half of the season.
Yeah,
quite bad. They did the stats. It was worse than it normally is for Red Bull junior drivers. And Red Bull was like, okay, great. You're doing badly. We're kicking you out and replacing you with Daniel Ricciardo. That's why Daniel has a seat at RB. They do this all the time. Daniel Kvyat was at Red Bull. They liked Max more. They kicked Daniel Kvyat down to the junior team, elevated Max up.
Wait a minute, isn't that the one whose girlfriend Max stole?
Yep.
Okay.
They did the same thing to Pierre Gasly with Alex Albon. They've done this like numerous times. It's like kind of their thing, where Red Bull doesn't like a lot of teams with their rookies or with people in general. They don't kick you out mid-season. Like they will suffer through a season with you and then fire you at the end of the season.
Jeez.
Red Bull will fire you mid-season because they are also one conglomerate company. Mm-hmm. So you are contracted to drive for Red Bull, not for RB or Red Bull Racing.
Got you.
Generally. Although there is supposedly a caveat in Checo's contract that he can't be demoted to RB. Supposedly. What do I know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, did I put Checo anywhere?
No.
Huh.
Yeah.
Neither of y'all did.
Yeah.
Poor Checo.
Listen, for my vision, I'm sorry, Checo. I believe in you, Checo, but for my vision, it can't happen, baby. For my vision, you got to go. It's not your fault, but my sweet king deserves it. All right, on to Williams. So they've already got Alex Lukton. Who do you think is going to be driving alongside Alex? I'm conflicted on this one. I'm a bit torn.
I kind of would like Logan to get a
Okay.
season, but there's something that's telling me, why am I blinking out on his name? Mercedes.
Kimmy Antonelli?
No,
Mick?
Descriptors.
Mick. There you go. Thank you.
I got you.
Something's telling me Mick.
Schumacher?
Mick Schumacher?
Yeah.
Where is
No,
Schumacher currently?
Nowhere. He's a Mercedes
He's reserve driver.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I feel like I would
that's
love,
who that man is. I was wondering who that was.
I would
Okay.
love for Logan to get another seat as, the only American. God bless America.
Isn't Lance Stroll American?
He's Canadian.
Canadian.
Ugh.
But
I don't know why. I don't know why I did that.
To be honest, I'm like, he's been so poor, but I'm like, but so has Alex. So why wouldn't they put him? So
Jesus.
Anyway.
I think it's more like I would like Mick to have a seat. So I'm gonna go with Mick.
Yeah. I would also want Mick to have a seat. I tragically don't think it will be at Williams. I don't think they can afford Mick.
Oh, that's true.
Not in terms of like his literal salary, but like Mick, I have to say, I think Mick reminds me of Max with less natural talent, in the sense that like Max is a very push till you find the limit kind of driver, which like when you're a perfectionist and you're perfect, you can snap the car back.
Mm-hmm.
Mick doesn't have the snap the car back.
Yeah.
And I think that Williams can afford somebody who is like Max, but can't snap the car back.
Oh, wait. Oh, hold on. I'm just kind of... Wasn't Mick at Williams?
Mick was at Haas.
Oh, it was Haas. Okay, I'm getting...
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now I'm remembering. Maybe I don't want to have him there, actually.
Oh, okay.
Because it's all coming back. Oh, that was really, really bad. Take that. Me see. Okay, I'm actually gonna go switch to Logan. I forgot Mick's
Logie Bear.
Quite his quick season with Haas. So yeah.
Got Logie Bear for you.
Y'all gonna have to help me out with these last three on this grid, though.
Yeah, we got you.
I don't know.
I do have to say, I am going to swing for the hills. I'm going to put a controversial placement.
It's going to be a swing and a miss. What do you got?
And the people are going to say that I'm wrong.
Carlos?
And I think that I'm wrong. No. I'm not going to put Carlos here.
Oh.
I think that I'm wrong, but I'm going to do it anyway. I think Pierre Gasly.
Oh, okay.
Is going to
Okay, because he's at Alpine right now, right?
Yes. I think that him and Ocon are both scrambling to get out of that death trap of a team. And I think that he will try to find any better car. And I think the only available better car to him is Williams.
Okay.
Jesus.
That's my humble opinion.
That's interesting. I can rock with that. It's a wild swing, but I can rock with it.
Jesus.
Thank you. Okay. Philly, you just have to go with what your heart, listen to your heart.
Because, okay, so Pierre Gasly's current teammate is Esteban Ocon, correct?
Yes.
I don't see him leaving Alpine.
Okay, well, you can make that decision when we get there.
Williams. Send Daniel to Williams.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Don't ask me why. I just said send Daniel to Williams.
Can I be a little...
Go ahead.
More out? I think it's just you put him there because the only person's name you can remember.
Shut up.
Anyway.
I hate you.
Enough dragging your sister, please.
Okay, sorry.
She's just rude.
Just
rude.
We have our final two teams.
Currently at Kick Sauber because I forget who they are.
Yes,
Valtteri.
so that's Valtteri, Bottas, and Zhou Guanyu.
Oh, I wish better for Zhou.
We want better for him. And I have to say, I have come to the time to make my controversial placement,
Oh dear God.
She's going to
I
put
think Carlos Sainz
At
is going
kick?
to be at Kickstarter.
Why?
so. Okay, yeah.
We have a couple reasons. Reason number one, I think that of his available options, this is the most realistic one. Carlos does not want a 1-year contract. He wants a 2-year contract minimum. 2 years.
Can I change
one option
something after you finish?
I'll think about that.
Okay.
I think that he wants a 2-year contract. I think when we look at the teams that are available to him, I think there's only one that will offer him a 2-year contract.
You don't think Mercedes?
And I think that's no.
Okay.
Really?
I don't think Mercedes is delaying Kimi Antonelli more than a year.
Okay.
Jeez.
I think the only way that Carlos gets the Mercedes seat is if Kimi gets the Williams seat and then comes to Mercedes in a year. I don't think they're delaying him multiple years.
Okay.
For the Max Verstappen reason again.
Okay.
Toto, I think, has a complex about how that whole thing went down with Max.
Okay.
He's himself said he has a complex about how that whole thing went down.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Because he won't stop
Alright.
talking.
That is controversial.
It is controversial.
You
But I'm
don't
standing by it.
even getting into like RB?
No.
Dang.
Even
I'm
with
not
his
saying this to be mean. I think that's embarrassing.
Oh my.
it is, but
It's
well,
you
hold on,
think
you
it's
don't think
more embarrassing
than
than Kick
Kick?
Sauber?
I think it's embarrassing to go back to the junior team that Max Verstappen beat you at. Now that you are a grown ass post Ferrari driver, yes.
But Kick Sauber, who can't even get you in and out of the pit?
I think that to be clear, I think that Carlos Sainz would be at Kick Sauber for a single year and then go to Audi in 2026.
I
Let
keep
the record
forgetting
show.
Audi is coming in. Most of them are just wanting to stay in play.
I think he wants
Hold
the
on.
security of a 2-year contract. Like, I don't think that
Audi
he
coming
wants
in
to
as
be
a
up and
team or just as a
Audi is coming to take over Kick Sauber.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Thanks for that clarification.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I think Audi's coming in to take over Kick Sauber.
Okay.
That would shake some things up a little bit, wouldn't it?
Yeah, so I think that there's lots of ways this goes. I think that if I'm correct and Audi is coming to take over Kick Sauber, which I could be incorrect about, but I'm pretty sure that's what's happening, then I think Carlos goes there regardless. He gets his 2-year contract. 1 year is Kick Sauber, 1 year is Audi. You keep on pushing. I think that he wants a 2-year contract in general for security reasons because nobody wants a 1-year contract. Nobody wants that. You don't want that.
Think
It is Kick Sauber they're coming to get.
I stand by my choice even more.
Yeah.
Do you think Carlos plays? Well, you've already made your decision, but what do you think about? Do you think he'd ever consider sitting out, kind of like a la Daniel did?
Like a reserve? Or whatever
No,
Daniel
because
was?
nobody chooses to sit out. Daniel got fired and couldn't get a seat.
Oh, well, I mean, he lost his seat.
Yeah, he got fired. Carlos also got fired.
He's
But
basically getting fired.
I hate to say this because we all know I don't like Carlos. Carlos is a better driver than Daniel. So
We know
like
this.
he's not gonna get fired. He didn't get fired the way Danny got fired, you know? Danny got fired because he couldn't drive the car. Carlos, while worse than Charles, can drive the car. So yeah. He didn't get fired the same.
Okay. Oh boy, who am I putting here? I'm going to go with Zhou Guan Yu.
Okay.
And also too, I think I'm also like I need to make sure I'm fully understanding that like it's not just teams deciding who they want, it's also drivers deciding where they want to go.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was also I don't know. I feel like as much as I like him, I feel like Valtteri's time is slowly coming to an end.
I agree.
In F1. And
Unfortunately, I feel like Valtteri is probably one of the most easily forgotten on the grid.
Bless me.
Bless you.
Let's go add a little razzle dazzle. Actually, I was about to say Razzle Dazzle, but I don't even know who the heck I'm putting on here.
Who's the original person you? Oh, Joe Guan Yu.
I'm also going to be Joe, by the way. I think it's going to be Carlos this show.
Let's do a little. Would put Ocon in that seat, I think.
Oh.
I think at this point I really am just guessing. Like, I feel like earlier ones I'm making semi-educated guess. Now I just don't know what the heck I'm doing.
That's real. So
It's just sort of my gut.
Mm-hmm.
What my gut is telling me, that's what I'm going off of.
So, I feel like Joe Guan Yu is gonna stay.
Okay. All hail King Joe.
Now, as far as the other seat, I don't know. Oh, sorry, I hit my mic. I don't know, because now that you said the thing about Audie coming in, it makes me question.
You could put a Logan there.
Tackle the whole Audie thing?
What about it?
Bro, it's out.
It's Audi, yeah.
Oh, girl, whatever.
Sorry.
I'm like, one thing. I'm like, what happened? She's like, your pronunciation, that's what happened. Anyway, because granted, we don't know what Audi's coming in to do. But then again, somebody who wants to, kind of throw up a quick Hail Mary and see what might happen in a year might snatch that seat up.
Just put anybody.
Hush! I'm trying to think.
I
don't know these people that well, like y'all.
Mick. You could put Gasly. You don't have Checo anywhere on your board.
I'm gonna put. I was about to say I'm gonna put Checo in there.
Checo,
because he has to be on the grid somewhere. I can't just completely disregard the man.
Okay, that's valid.
And he might decide he wants to kick back for a year and then light it up with Audi the year after. I don't know this man. I don't know these people. I'm guessing.
Checo, who's pretty much on track to come in second this season, is going to go to kick sour.
Let's stop judging your sister's
No, but today, yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm judging. It's funny. I'm judging you, but like I'm making educated guesses over here when I'm not. Sorry.
Thank you.
All right. Last but certainly not least,
I think Pierre and Esteban are going to stay there. I'll just start with that.
That's great. Me and Bex have not left ourselves that option, so it will have to be some sort of.
So Gasly's not on mine. And
yes.
At first I was like,
maybe you don't see Gasly having a seat at all?
Well, hold on. I was about to say I was about to say maybe they just clear the slate and just go get like two new drivers, which I think would be fascinating. Mm-hmm. But I'm also like, I think that's kind of risky for them, having two completely new drivers in a car that's not great. I think. Anyway, I'm done. I'm gonna put Gasly in one seat. If that's the one I'm missing, yeah, I put Ocon in the other. Okay, Gasly, and then I'm just going to choose a random F2 driver.
Okay.
Which one I don't know. Wait, I put Liam. I put Oscar. I put.
Did you put that Antonelli?
Yes. Who's that under?
Do you want me to present to you your options here?
Yes, please.
Okay. We have, I believe, Fred Vesti is the one that I have highlighted right here. I don't know about him. I don't care about him. But here he is. Then we have, I cannot remember his name. What?
Who? The one you just mentioned. Who's he driving for? Fred.
I think he might also be. I think he's a Mercedes.
Okay.
Florbo, Fred Vesti.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Fred Vesti or Fred Vesti?
Fred Vesti with a V.
Vesti with a V.
Oh, yeah. I was like Bestie.
Then I cannot remember his name. but it's like Hadjar or something like that. He's a Red Bull Junior driver.
Okay.
And then we have my pick for the other Alpine seat, which is Jack Doohan.
Who's he?
He's another F2 driver. He is BWT sponsored, so he's kind of in that field. That's one of Alpine's main sponsors. That's the one that makes them pink. I think that it's going to be him and Esteban, because I think Gasly will be with
You
him.
said the Formula 2 guy for Red Bull was Isaac Hadjar?
Yes.
Is that who you're talking about? Okay.
And then the BWT Alpine Junior guy is Jack Doohan, who I think will be driving alongside Ocon.
Okay.
Who's the other one up on the third row? Third column?
That is Ayumi Iwasa. He's a Red Bull Junior driver as well.
And is there anyone I'm missing?
No, we've got
I don't even have Carlos on mine.
Oh, true.
But I don't think
I
I don't really think he's going to go to. I feel like I may have messed up because I think Carlos is going to have a seat, but he's going to be on the grid. But I don't know if I can put him in Alpine.
I mean, putting him in Alpine just means that he's going to be on the grid somewhere.
No, I don't think he's.
That's not what that means.
I don't think he's dumb enough to take that. I'm going to. What am I going? You know what? I'm going to copy you because you know more than me, and I'm going to do. I always forget that Jack
Doohan. Yeah.
Jack. I'm gonna copy and put Jack in that seat, even though
right.
I do feel like I've messed up somewhere because Carlos is going to get a seat.
And that's okay, because what I'm going to allow my competition, because this is a competition,
What?
I will allow you one change.
So is it
to
like
your
one
selection.
person, like I can take one person out, or can I like swap two people? Like, can I
You
put
can
Carlos in, take
one
Yuki
choice.
out, or move Yuki to like Haas?
If you are taking Yuki out and putting Carlos in, you're taking Yuki out to put Carlos where Yuki is.
So I
You
can't
can make
like
a
move
swap.
Yuki to like Haas and then take...
No, that would cause multiple moves.
Fine, okay.
So really, you can maybe swap. I'll give you one swap.
A swap.
I'll give you a swap. And Philly, you have the same offer. I will also offer you a swap.
Girl, I don't know.
To be honest, I don't even think this is. I can't make a swap. I'm with everyone that I have there. I'm comfortable with. It's just the Carlos of it all that I'm just like I need to, but I don't really know where to take him, where to put him, because I do think. Because where do you have him at Kickstarter? I don't know why you did that. And you have him at Mercedes, and I don't think that's happening. What if he went to Aston Martin?
Girl, what?
And Lance was just. I don't know.
What?
That wouldn't happen, but
Lance's daddy isn't doing that to him.
If you'd watched the latest season of Drive to Survive, you'd know that he wouldn't do that to him.
I've watched 2 episodes of Drive to Survive.
You should watch the Aston Martin episode. It's really good.
Okay.
It made me sympathize with the billionaire for 5 seconds.
What?
Aren't they all billionaires?
Oh, like when he broke himself?
Well, no, I wasn't sympathizing with Lance. Although I like Lance. I don't need to sympathize with him. I like his daddy. His daddy was like, you have to remember, I'm a dad first. Like,
oh yeah, I saw that episode. I saw that episode.
I'm not gonna swap because I think I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't think I can swap anyone out right now that can do like a 1-for-1 swap.
Okay.
So I think I'm gonna have to lock it in.
Philly, do you have a swap or are you locking it in?
I done did it, so I'm sticking to it.
All right, we are locked in. For our audio listeners, just so it's clear where we all are. So at Red Bull Racing, we obviously all have Max Verstappen. AFSA has Yuki Tsunoda, Philly has Ollie Bierman, and Bex has Checo. Ferrari and McLaren are locked in. We know this. At Mercedes, we obviously have George Russell across the board. AFSA has Kimi Antonelli as well as Bex, but Philly put Carlos Sainz. We all put Fernando and Lance at Aston Martin. For RB, we all put Liam Lawson, but AFSA put Ayubi Iwasa. Philly put Yuki, and so did Bex. For Haas, we all have a current driver Philly kept the lineup the same as this year. Magnussen and
Hulkenberg.
AFSA, myself, I realize I've been talking in third person. Sorry about that. I have Hulkenberg and Ollie Bierman, and Bex has Magnussen and Ollie Bierman. At Williams, we obviously have Alex. I have Pierre. Philly has Daniel Ricciardo, and Bex has Logan keeping his seat. At Kick Sauber, we all have Joe staying. I have Carlos Sainz driving for Kick. Philly has Checo, and Bex has Ocon. And finally, worst and last, we have Alpine. I have Ocon and Jack Doohan driving. Philly has Pierre and Ocon keeping their seats. And Bex has Jack Doohan and Gasly driving. Now, the reason why I made sure that we all locked this in, I think could be fun, cool, and funky. At the end of the year, when hopefully all the driver contracts are locked in, realistically, Williams is probably going to do the same thing they did last year and hold out on confirming that last seat for reasons. But once the driver market is completely locked in, we're going to tally up how many seats we all got correctly. And I think that the two losers should owe the winner a piece of F1 merch collectively, not each, collectively, of their choosing.
Down for that.
I'm down for that.
Okay. All right. This will be great. Obviously, the ones that are locked in, we will all count for. You know, it is what it is. But I'm excited to see where this all lands. I think I actually picked a good spread. I'm not feeling one. I don't think I bat 100. I think I bat at least 60.
Well,
I'll give myself that I gave the people who have their contracts the right seats.
And
I think I like mine. Whether I think it's correct or not is a whole other conversation.
Yeah, and we will upload this to the Instagram. Cough,
Yes.
Felicia. We will upload this to the Instagram, and that way at the end of the year, we can do a side-by-side. And see
Yes.
what's up.
Yes.
Alrighty. Well, that was delightful. Thank you all for watching along to my little PowerPoint thing.
That was fun.
As always, I close out with a fun little funky question.
Okay.
Have either of you seen the meme about being mindful about why you were invited to the section?
No.
Okay. So, you know how those like etiquette teachers like to teach things on TikTok and they like to be annoying?
Yes.
Right? So there's this video of this girl where basically she was like dancing in a quote unquote ratchet manner. And, you know, theoretically she'd been invited to a club section. And then it put an X over that because ratchetry, of course, is not allowed in the club section. And then
Isn't that what a club section is for?
Well, that's what I said. She showed herself being prim and proper and lowering herself into the seat with her legs crossed, just gently sipping on champagne. And the title was, "Be mindful of why you were invited to the section." I will share with you all my screen about being mindful about why you're invited to the section.
What?
Okay. All right. So be mindful of why you're invited to the section. It has been a meme. Let me see if it'll play me the OG meme. Come on, guys. Come on. You know what I want. Okay. Oh, I might have clicked away too soon. Okay. Sorry, viewers. But yes, so Little Brown Charm School posted it with the caption, "Intentional dating is being hyper aware of perception and selective with invitations. There's always an expectation when you are invited. Someone took interest. But interest in what? What were you doing when you were tapped?" So basically, be mindful of why they invited you to the section, right? If you were looking pretty and classy when they invited you, you should be mindful. So here's the video. You know, ratchetry, unacceptable. You should be polite and gracious and be mindful of why
What
you were
section
invited.
is she supposed to be sitting in?
That's what I'm saying, right? So then, of course, the memes start to go. You know, be mindful of why you're invited to the section. We have so many different things. People posting random photos. You know, there's like I think it's Lord, maybe? Like her random covers, be mindful of why you're invited to the section. You know, people making their own videos, making fun of her, be mindful of why you're invited to the section. And I say all of this to say, my sweet, sweet cousins.
Dear God.
Why would you be invited to the
God.
section? What would you have to be mindful of? Why you were invited to the section? I personally think that I would be invited to the section for my intense knowledge of lyrics. I find that when I'm at parties, people are really impressed that I know all the words to songs.
Oh,
I think that Dreams and Nightmares would come on.
Oh, God.
And I would have studied Dreams and Nightmares.
Oh, dear
And I think I
God.
would be invited to the section because somebody in the section is rapping Dreams and Nightmares, and I make eye contact, and I'm also rapping Dreams and Nightmares. I think that's why I would be invited
Hold
to the
up,
section.
wait a minute.
Exactly. I think that's why I would be invited to the section. Philly,
so
what should you
not
be
like
invited? Or
actual
Jax, what
reason
should you
you're
be?
invited to the section? Just like
I mean, you can give us the actual reason one of you would be invited to the section.
I can't stand you.
You can do that too.
no. Okay, never mind.
Fix you.
But be mindful of why.
Be mindful of why. Okay, Felicia, you go.
Girl, I don't know yet.
Why would
What would
I
I-
be invited to the section?
Wait, so does it have to be? Because you have something decent. Like, is it something I need to be worried about, or something that would actually be a
Just
reason?
why would you be invited to the section?
Oh,
I get what
it's
you're
just a
saying
good
now.
time.
What did
What'd
you
you say?
I said I'm just a good time.
Okay. Do you want to give us any more specifics than that, or?
I mean, we could drink a little something. We could talk a little something. We could dance a little something.
Even better, what are your preferred bottles for the section? This is a follow-up question.
Tequila.
Oh!
I can tell you in college why I was invited to this section.
Oh,
Okay.
dear God.
Tell us why you were invited to the section, Bex, in
I
college.
know.
So I was the one driving.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So no, but truly, because I didn't drink
Yep.
in like social settings like that. I used to get anxious, like anxiety. My head was on a swivel. I was nervous. I was always the one scoping out the scene,
That's real.
keep my head on the swivel, always facing the door.
When that rat-ta-ta-ta.
Girl,
Oh, why did
One-
I even think about this? I'd be there because I'd be dancing. What the hell? Never mind. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
There you go.
but now I think. Let me see. Why would I be invited to this section? What do I need to be mindful of?
While you're being mindful, Philly, you're telling me that you're hitting your section minimum purely on bottles of tequila? That is atrocious. That's insane.
Why?
You probably have like a good 500 to 800 section minimum.
Where are
A
you
tequila will do
going?
like a
500,
250.
800 minimum?
Yeah, in DC it's a 500 section minimum.
No, we
Like
don't
I
do
think
that.
down here it's like 250,
Yeah.
300, depending on where you go.
I'm saying it's a couple bottles of tequila,
At
you know?
At Decades, which is like a broke. I don't want to call it broke. I love Decades. I love going to Decades. I'm a Decades fan 10 toes till I die. But it's not like a bougie club. You know, it's a club for the youngins.
Oh,
The
God.
cheapest table is a $500 minimum.
Okay, now
No.
let me just preface in saying I haven't got a table. I haven't gotten a section in a while, but last
There's
I remembered it was like 300.
No, but it's still not 500. It's still not
Let me,
500.
actually, let me check one place.
That's
Let me
crazy.
see how much it is.
I was about to say, because I
Because-
personally normally do, and I hate
Like
it.
maybe if you're getting the nicest section. Well, one of the nicest
Girl,
sections.
hold up. I'm going to actually go to Heist, because I know that Heist
Let me
is
see.
a decent luxe DC nightclub. And I'm going to see how much they're running a section for. I think that'll be a good barometer. I don't want to request a table.
So at this one place I'm looking at, it says like a 200 deposit is required, and then it doesn't really. It's not really actually saying like how many bottles are required.
If I were to go to Heist and
Mhm.
go to and get, a floor table or whatever,
Yeah.
how much would it cost? Oh, they want me to do the request. Anyway, it's like a $500 minimum no matter where you go. I've seen
Yeah.
$1,000 minimum for a table that I
Absolutely
wanted. But generally, a bottle of Tito's will run you a good $250. $2.75. So if you have a $500 minimum, you have to get a second bottle, and you're not getting 2 bottles of liquor for the section. You got to get champagne. I'm a champagne and liquor person. I like a good. I think you have to get a bottle of champagne.
I'm down for the champagne, but
I'm not sharing if I'm getting a bottle of champagne.
Oh my God!
You have to share if you get a bottle of champagne.
Because by the time it's like 4 or 5 glasses. That's it, and I'm paying $200 and change. No, thank you.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Let me see how much camp is.
I'll say now I want to confirm this.
Camp is $250 to make a deposit.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say, let me see.
And then you have to pay $200. They just charge you on all the nonsense.
Okay. Yep. So, for example, me and my friends always do the 2000s floor because everybody knows the 2000s floor is lit, right?
Okay.
Cool. If I wanted to go do bottle service this Saturday at Decades, the cheapest table is $500, up to 8 guests. If you have up to 10 guests, cheapest one is $600. It's not $600 plus. Sorry, $600 plus is the cheapest one. 10% tax, 20% gratuity. Right? So we're already at that point. And then we start to get into the bottles, right? Absolute will run you $275. Teals will run you $300. So if you're at the cheapest table, you have to get a vodka and then probably get the cheapest champagne, which is Belair Lux, and that's at your $500 minimum. If you don't like the cheapest one,
so like this place like
bottles.
At least for camp on a Saturday. Who's going to camp on Saturday? I don't know, but like they have like certain tables, but most of their tables don't actually have a minimum spend.
That's insane. I would kill to go to a club that didn't have a minimum spend table.
Now I think for Sunday Funday, which is like
Sunday is one thing.
But the most they have 2 tables that have 1,000 minimum, but you can get a $250 minimum table.
I know which tables those are. Yeah, those are like the big tables.
Yeah, so like it's like, and that's what I was wondering. I was like you do have like your standard table, but I don't think $1,000 is like average here. Like I would say maybe 500 is the average.
I think 500 might even be a little too high.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, y'all,
the fact that y'all start at 500 up there is wild.
We started 500 at like the like regular people club. Not even I couldn't even get the price at Ice.
No. I also don't go to the club. I keep my butt in the house.
No, like I get it, but oof.
I'll have to take you to Decades when you come to DC.
Girl, I ain't paying no $500 for a section.
I will be there in July.
Why would I be there if I didn't have a table?
You know, maybe we will get a table. Maybe we'll splurge.
I'm not spending $500 on a table.
So
I feel like
So do you know what I was thinking? I don't know anyway.
Oh yeah, wait. Maybe we end the podcast.
I was about to say,
maybe we end the podcast.
I was going to talk about like our personal business for a second, and I was like, wait.
Okay, maybe let's end the podcast. Sorry, listeners.
I forgot
you do not get privy on the vacation plans from us.
On the family tea.
Yeah, the family tea. What you can do is you can rate, you can review, and you can subscribe if you want to see our beautiful faces this week. We will be on the YouTube. If you want to hear our beautiful voices, we will be anywhere where you can listen to podcasts. Really, listen to us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. That'll be so cool and fun. And make sure to leave us a review, 5 stars, words. Tell us how much you love us. You can follow us on Instagram. You can subscribe on YouTube. You know, hit us where you can find us. Make sure that you share this with somebody who you know needs to be very mindful of why they weren't invited to the section. Yeah. Send it to your ratchetest friend. Viewers, Philly's using her Mac unprivileged to send a heart
thing. Like what happened? What was wrong with this? Why?
Why did y'all feel the need to contort your fingers?
They're talking about the Gen Z heart versus the millennial heart. Audio listeners.
All that reminds me of is when we used to spell blood out with our hands in high school. Just.
Anyway, listeners, thank you all for listening. We'll catch you again after the China Grand Prix, and we'll be here to hopefully talk about a very fun and exciting race.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. All right. Bye, listeners.
Bye.